132. Not gonna lie, I was pretty pissed off when that throttle happened yesterday during qualifying. We were feeling really good. Got set up right on entry where I wanted to be, right on the zone where I wanted to be. I was feeling it. Move away from this generator. I was feeling it. I was ready to throw down 90 or higher. Like I knew that I had that in there just from, I was just driving so consistent. Car felt great. Then when that happened, it just upset me because it's something that we've been dealing with for some time, you know. And of course, you know, during practice there's no problem. Then in qualifying, she bites me, you know. It's just frustrating. So when we went back out there, I did everything I could to just like calm myself down. But then when kick tires off in the burnout box, I was just pissed, you know. And the way that this knockout qualifying system works, like even if I were to bang a 100-point run, the highest you're gonna get is 26th. So it's not an easy feeling, you know. It's like every battle that we go out there, I mean, we're in the show and I'm grateful for that, but it's like we're always up against just the hardest guys out there. Not saying that, you know, I'm not down to go against that or drive at that level. It's just like, you know, you're going against the heavy hitters right off the bat, you know. And so it gets a little stressful. And then, you know, with Mike, I got Mike Essa again. He's my boy. I've been driving him for a long time. And I've never beaten him. If I beat him today, it would mean a lot to me because I'd finally be able to get his ass. And we're going to do it. The weather might rain, might not. I don't know. It's like kind of sprinkling, kind of not. But, you know, what else can we do? But just going to go out there, give it my all. Give it my all. That's all I'm really going to say. What more can I say? What else can I do? I'm gonna get changed, I'm gonna head out.
Let me charge this real quick, 11:30.
I like that.
For the noontime sniffles.
Taking care of you. Dedication. I like that. I like that.
Before he goes out?
Say what?
What should Ryan be focusing on or improving before going out?
Try to stay focused on the bigger picture at the end of the weekend, which is let's try to get the car where it needs to be on track and focus on consistency, filling our zones and hitting our marks, and just making sure that we're on top of our game. Ryan's got a handle for the most part. He just needs to make sure that he's there mentally, he's there ready to drive.
This is our behind the scenes. Say we're on.
You're gonna hear us talking, but now you guys talk to each other. You're in here right now. I can tell you. Alright, I'll get you out. Giving away any tires?
Yeah. You want to get him a tire?
But I know where
ask him what I'm spending. Take a couple seats, cause it's a couple tickets. I never lie to kick it, murder rubber, not convicted. They say I'm filthy rich, I told the judge, yeah, I'm guilty. On my baby mama, I can't let no bitch extort me. All this ice I'm rockin', pray to God they don't deport me. Ride with the fuck you on these niggas worth a fortune. I never lie to kick it, murder rubber, not convicted. They say I'm filthy rich, I told the judge, yeah, I'm guilty. On my baby mama, I can't let no bitch extort me. All this ice I'm rockin', pray to God they don't deport me. Ride with the fuck you on these niggas worth a fortune.
But the Royal Purple Top 16. And going against Michael Essa will be Ryan Literal, qualified 31st. Ripping in the Power Stop, GT Radials, Heritage Wheels, Sylvia S15. See him warming up his tires there in that Pedal Commander burnout box. Essa will lead, given his #2 qualifying position. Essa on that start line, FCP Euro, big supporter of the Pro Spec Championship. Liquimali and Bill Stein on the side of Essa's vehicle. And let's see as he leaves the start line, how this former champ's gonna do against Ryan. And popping into that front outside zone goes Michael Essa. Getting to see Ryan Little absolutely covered in the zone. And Michael Essa deep into that second outside zone. Ryan Literal does have the proximity, not maybe in the angle, but really aggressive here. Let's see how he go into that final outside zone. And Michael Essa looks like he loops it unprovoked. I believe that might have been an independent situation, Ryan. Let's get the truth serum. That overhead drone will definitely show, was there contact being made?
Well, after a tremendous second place qualification for Michael Essa, the 2013 Formula Drift champion, he starts off this run in the lead very strong. But Ryan Literal coming into his own here in 2022, starting to push the pace here against Michael Essa. And then on the transition back around, lots of angle, and he spins out maybe, what is he, 15 feet from the finish line? And nice bit of defensive driving there from Ryan Literal to avoid any big damage or contact. But here it is again, lots of angle from Essa. You can see that front end holding grip and the rear end not able to hold that angle. Spinning out there with Ryan Literal driving by.
It did look like there was contact on the transition, again going from 2 to 3, and you can even see it on the door, just a little chafing there on the door, and that might have impeded maybe in his transition, but you know, how much TBD, you know, that'll be analyzed, that'll be scrutinized here. And Michael Essa and Literal both from Southern California. And two very different builds, two very different style of driving. Ryan Literal could see his way into top 16 here with that, what I would have to assume with him looping it being an incomplete. Let's take a look here with Literal out front and Michael Essa sitting on, like I said, a big deficit, spinning out in that third and final outside zone. Here we go, Ryan Literal into that first outside zone. Now Essa, oh, look at that. Looks like he had to back off there before he got to find into that final outside zone, and Ryan Little could see top 16 for the first time this year. And it looks like that will be the case. So unfortunately, Michael Essa, you saw spin out and then in the chase position, made a major mistake. Awaiting the outcome here, Ryan Little, like you said, first advancement into the top 16, that power stop, GT Radial S15. Michael Essa, imagine a little bit of frustration here with this FCP Euro BMW. Slide him left for Essa, right for Literal, and here we go. Ryan Literal gets the win. Ryan Literal will advance on.
How do you feel?
Really good. I was just stayed calm, stayed collected, and Mike's a great driver. I knew that I could drive hard into him, and I just knew I had to give it everything I had chasing him. And on my lead, I knew that I had to just be consistent. Kind of got a little close to him, but I didn't hit him hard enough for him to spin out. You know, I get hit all the time, and I pulled it together. You know, so I think his guys are trying to protest the call, but I mean, we got the win. So.
Turk and his team, and here we go.
Here
Let's
we
get
go.
right into
Back
it.
out
Top
Ryan
16.
Little, Matt Field.
The other guy that went into the wall.
Yeah, Matt Field. Here goes Matt Field. Falcon Tires goes off course. The Borla Drift Cave. Ryan Little, first time this year, that power stop. GT Radial S15. Matt Field now into that final outside zone. He was talking about thrashing. Quickly looking at his social media, his team thrashing, get the car back together.
And that's the first run that Matt Field has done since the repair that happened, it seems like ages ago.
Where he tore off. Remember, he didn't wait for the verdict. He beeline to the pits.
Exactly. Gets a huge gap on Literal right there, but goes a little bit too deep into outside zone 1. Has to take that kind of hasty line to get to the beginning of outside zone 2. Here comes Literal, putting the pressure on there. Oh, a little tap. And you can see that did have an effect on Field. Field gets into that outside zone 3, Literal on a slightly tighter line there as they cross the finish line. And now they will switch things up.
All right, here we go. Ryan Literal, Matt Field. So Literal will now lead, Matt Field giving chase. See Chris Forsberg going back there in the background. Second run of this battle. Other side of the top 16. Royal Purple top 16, Ryan Literal through that start chicane, kicking off the second run. Ryan Literal enters into that first outside zone. Coming now as the sun sets. Ryan Little filling all that second outside zone, but not changing that field. See how they transition into that final outside zone. Literal goes in, Matt Field drops into formation. Good job by Ryan Literal out front. Great to see Literal. But you saw Literal look down in the mirror. Yeah, Matt Field was right there. Great battle by the RB-powered Power Stop, Heritage Wheels, GT Radial S15.
Well, it was good for Ryan Literal to get into that first outside zone. Unfortunately, Field was right there with him. He took advantage of that, and that's what you want to see. If you're going to give that deep line, the chase driver needs to be there as well. Same area on the course where Literal and Field made a little bit of contact. They both got a tiny bit twitchy right there before inside clip number 1. But overall, great performance by Ryan Literal in the lead position, doing everything he can as the sun is starting to set. And Matt Field trying to get that secondary shakedown in the vehicle after that big hit not too long ago in the top 32.
All right, car number 909 from the IE, Ryan Literal gets lit. All right, taking a look at the side-by-side. Oh, yeah,
So
see
Field,
Ryan Literal.
Yeah, Field got a jump on him, but see, he makes a little bit of a mistake there by being too hot into outside zone 1. Field does a great job getting in the pocket there on the chase run, but Ryan Literal as well. That's where they made that little contact there. Field had that adjustment. I think that will certainly play a role. You saw that twitchiness also with Ryan Literal in the lead run, and Field in that area, both drivers having a couple little issues. And now it's going to go to the judges after that side-by-side. Did somebody do enough to get the victory here?
All right, and again, just a very aggressive line. Good drive by these guys. Literal, slide him left for Literal, right for Field. One more time. They are going at it again. It was unanimous.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I'm gonna make my flight tomorrow. In a great way.
We just got done with our first top 16 battle with Matt Field. He kind of overcooked the first corner, and I made some mistakes in my lead. The clutch master cylinder is going out, so my pedals fall into the floor, so it's kind of hard to control the car without proper clutch modulation and controlling the wheel speed and positioning the car where I want. But the guys are going to do everything they can right now to get it back out on track, and I mean, we're going to be out on track either way, but just try to do the best that we can. Matt's a killer driver. We feel really good, and after driving with him right now, I know that we have the car to take the advantage.
Pressure. I'm getting no movement. What? I got no movement. Keep going.
All right.
Close it.
It's closed.
Pressure. Floor. Close. Pressure. Floor. Close. Pressure. Floor. Close. Pressure. Nothing. All right, go again. Pressure. Floor. Closed. Pressure. Pressure. Pressure.
One more time with Field right now.
Down. Closed. Pressure. Down. Now you're getting something in. Closed. I didn't have that at all, so you're getting something. Keep going. Pressure. Down.
Thank you, man.
Closed. It's coming back. Thank you very much. Pressure. Down. I didn't have that, so. You still got air, Austin? No. Okay, pressure. One more. You got pressure? Pressure. Down. Closed.
Coming over from Japan to give his hand here as Ryan Lontaine has a conflict this weekend. That's why I'm up in here. And now let's get back to this one more time battle of Matt Field and Ryan Literal.
Yeah.
Matt Field now having that shakedown, Jared. I have to imagine he's going to start feeling more comfortable making those changes to the car after the damage sustained by going into the wall a couple rounds ago.
Yeah, and remember, Matt Field, he had the 10-minute because of the contact, right? He utilized his competition timeout. The car was rattling so much after the 10, so him and his team are hoping that it works out. Here we go, Matt Field into that first outside zone. Falcon Tires Corvette. A little bit of hesitation and reservation, not as confident. And really get close here as we come now into that final outside zone. Matt Field gets all the way out there, Ryan Literal. So that seemed like he was diving in on the inside. like you saw kind of the lack of angle by Literal almost going into the side of field.
I mean, one of the dangers of close chasing is that any adjustment that you make might cause the car to grip up and straighten up. Matt Field looks like he's still not 100% out there. You can see he's kind of at the beginning of outside zone 2. Ryan Literal is keeping great proximity, maybe a tiny rub there. Great job on the transition back around, but right here, you're gonna see he's gonna lose quite a bit of angle, and then he's gonna try to kind of push the butt of the car out so that he can match the angle with Matt Field, but wasn't really able to do it convincingly there towards the end.
And again, I don't know if you saw on that overhead that drone shot really highlighted going from 1 to 2. You saw Field kind of had a reservation and didn't get as deep on outside zone 2.
He didn't commit to it.
Did not commit all the way, and that allowed Literal with that. So that gave him the proximity. He was dancing. He was all up there rubbing elbows, but didn't want to slam dance, and rightfully so. Look at this. Stomp your feet for me, E-Town. Stomp your feet. Let him hear you. Let him hear you across the globe. Look at that. We got the flat flux capacitor waving, keeping it going. Here we go. Second half of this battle. Ryan Literal out front. Look at that, keeping the Falcon tires warm. The Forge Star wheels go round on the corners of Matt Field's vehicle. Ryan Literal got those Heritage wheels wrapped in GT radial. Literal out front. Matt Field in the chase position. Matt Field in that contention for the championship, second in points. Into that first outside zone goes Literal. Matt Field, you can see him gripping up into that second outside zone. Dropping in. Literal maxing out the angle. Transition into that final outside zone. Great job by Ryan Literal. Matt Field up in the mix. Ryan, this should be pretty interesting. Let's see what we got. Let's take a look at it.
Literal coming down, charging into that first outside zone. Starts deep and goes a little bit shallower line, but here comes Field through that smoke line. Great job by Literal to get in the middle part of that outside zone. That's allowing Field to tuck up on the inside. Coming across this inside clip now is Field. Crossing over, here it is one more time before we get to that inside clip. Through the smoke line is Field. He's on the right line. He's keeping the pressure on through outside zone 3. That was something that we saw Literal cut the line a little bit more aggressively there. Is that going to be the point of difference? Here's the side-by-side. Great job by the production team here. There's that little love tap. There's Field in the chase. Now let's watch the comparison into outside zone 3. This was a deciding factor for Robbie Nishida's vote last time around. You could see Literal right there trying to get to the same angle and line as Field, but really unable to do that.
Slide him left for Literal, right for Matt Field. Remember, Matt Field in the hunt for the championship, and Matt Field does get the victory after a one more time battle. I'll tell you what, congratulations to Ryan Literal getting the 16. He's going against second in points, Matt Field, and he really held his own. It's great to see. I know Matt Field has had not only a tough beginning of this season, but even going back into last season, and he's looking promising. The car is working. He's right there in the mix. He's in the conversation, and we saw that right there. So it's great to see Literal give a championship contender a run for his money.
I'm not. I feel good. I mean, we drove good.
Phenomenal.
We drove good. I should have stayed in it, but I was just like, in the last outer zone, clutch still a little soft. Like it wasn't.
It was out of your control, dude.
I drove the hardest I could.
Hey, that lead run, you didn't lead some zones early, shit like that.
Yeah, the first one.
But if you would have been in your zones on a line like that, with the angle you had, the style, how fluid you were, that was phenomenal. That was phenomenal. That was great. So proud of you.
Sick. Thank you. So in that run, I mean, I really threw it hard at the car, and clutch was still a little wonky. I mean, it literally like totally gave out when they were announcing the call, and I just drove hard. I mean, that was the hardest I drove all weekend. You know, Matt went through quite a bit to get his car back out there, and it was just a really good showing. I mean, the team just kicked ass all weekend, and I just so proud of my guys and everybody that helped us to get here, and I'm really looking forward to the next round now.
Ryan Literal. Yeah!
Breakout performance. Yeah. Legend.
Congratulations, homeboys. A great really good. There you go. Hold it up. Look at
Yeah, we
Larry.
got the performance award. Oh my
Congratulations.
gosh, I do!
Little something. See you guys.
Hang on, it does the, okay. Hold still, do not move. Okay, don't move your hand.
Look here after.
Okay.
I look here. 3, 2, 1.
It's like nighttime thing, so anytime anybody moved, it would be like, oh, I see.
Turn left.